What is up, guys and girls that are interested in joining the military? I wanted to make this video and tell you guys a little bit about my ASVAB experience. Well, I guess my whole process of joining, but so far I've just taken the ASVAB and I'm getting the ball rolling on everything. I'm joining the Air Force. I don't come from military, so I'm doing this all on my own, and I'm not one of those hoorah, let's go, bag 'em and tag 'em, shoot 'em up type of guys. I don't know much about the military, but I know that it's a great opportunity and you get to travel and have all these awesome experiences that civilian life won't give you, and that's all. That's what I'm all about, is just adventure. And so the military, I think, is right up my alley, and the Air Force, it's the best. Just kidding. I don't live in my home city. I live in Tucson, and I'm from Yuma. So I went to Yuma, had Christmas with my family, came back, and I told myself that I'm going to go speak to a recruiter. So I think it was like December 27th or something like that. Yeah, I don't know why I remember the date. It was like the 27th. And I walked in, and the recruiter looks at me and goes, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "I'm here to join the Air Force." And to me, it was just so stupid. Like I just go and sign, like, join right there. And so she's like, "Okay, have a seat." All of a sudden, bam, 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 question after question after question, and it's a little intimidating. If I don't know, I was kind of intimidated because I didn't even know really what I didn't know. I don't know about. I still don't know anything about the military. I'm learning a lot of acronyms, but other than that, I have no idea what's going on. I just go where I'm told. A lot of questions like, how old are you? Do you have college? Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been charged with anything, even if it was dropped? Have you ever broken a bone? Have you ever been to the doctor? Have you ever had braces? Have you ever had your teeth pulled? Have you ever had astigmatism? Like, all these questions, and I was like, no, 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 no. And she says, "Okay, come to the back with me, and you're gonna take a test." And I was like, what? A test? I wasn't mentally prepared for that at all. So I took, like, the practice ASVAB, which I think is called, I don't know. She wrote down EST, which I'm assuming is the estimate test score for your ASVAB. I don't know. So it has word knowledge, which is just a word, and you have to find its synonym or its antonym, or find out how it was used in a sentence. Just word problems. What's the other one? Paragraph comprehension, which you read a paragraph, then you answer the questions on it. And it has math, and math and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things because I don't understand it. And it's a timed test, which kind of puts the pressure on you a little bit if you don't do well with that, and I don't. It tells you once it gets to a minute that it's going to make a sound, and you're gonna know you have a minute left. It's like when you get the question wrong on Jeopardy or something. It's like but loud, and I think it kind of vibrates too. So the first time I heard it, I had no idea what it was, and I like jumped, and then I saw it was counting down from like 55. I was like, oh crap! So I just guessed, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I think I got like a 47 on my practice. I called my recruiter in, and she looked at it and she's like, "Oh, it's not bad." And I'm like, "Not bad, it's horrible." And so she's going over the score and telling me the numbers and saying what I did well and what I didn't. And I don't understand any of it because the numbers are so weird. So weird. She asked me what I was interested in doing in the Air Force, and I told her public affairs or broadcast journaling. And she just looked at me kind of and said that those jobs are few and far between. And she told me that she's actually never even seen a public affairs job, which means that I would not be getting a job for a very long time. And so I was like, oh, okay. In my mind, I was like, oh, I'll go get a public affairs job, and then bam, I'm in. Like, I go tell them what I want to do, and they let me in. She asked me if there's anything else I'd be willing to do, and I told her I had no idea what was even an option. She said that's fine, that a lot of people come in not knowing. It made me feel better because I wasn't the only one who didn't know what was going on. So she says you need to study, and I was like, studying, got it. Cool, I can do that. I don't study. I paid attention in class and got good grades in school. Looking up jobs, cryptologic linguist, I can't even say it and I want it to be, it's ridiculous, was something that interests me. But in order to get the jobs you want, you have to do well on the ASVAB, and it's important to do well on the ASVAB regardless of what job you want. But to get specific jobs, you need to be better in certain areas. Even to qualify for the linguist or broadcast journaling, I had to get a 72 in general, which in my mind, I was thinking the AFQT, which is the Armed Forces AFQT Armed Quality Test? I don't know. I don't even know what that means, but I know I had to do well on it. To get into either of those, I needed a 72. I knew that much. The score I got at the recruiters, I got a 47. So I'm thinking, wow, I have a long way to go. Just like, I don't know how this is gonna work. I went and I bought the ASVAB for Dummies. It actually really helped me a lot. It's not very intense. It's kind of funny. Some parts, the author does a good job of keeping it light but really being informative. It's a lot of information. It took me like a week to read, I guess. I don't know. I'd study for 3 hours a day. There's practice tests in there which are really helpful. You studied the information, and it's more a refresher, which was what I needed, because this is honestly, it's high school stuff, and I just haven't been in high school for a while, and so I read it all, and then I took the tests in the back, which are the full length tests, and it tells you to time yourself because the tests are timed. There's general science, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, arithmetic, math knowledge, mechanical, auto shop, electrical, and assembling objects, which I'm pretty sure only Navy uses, but it's all in the book. And he tells you like which jobs require you to do better on which ones. You have to schedule your ASVAB meeting. You have to schedule it, and then you have to be there at that time. So she's giving me the paper that I have to take to the ASVAB, and I was grabbing it from her, and she was like, get a 60. And I was like, okay. And then she held on to the paper, and she was like, get a 60. And I was like, okay, like no pressure or anything. I can't even get a 55 on the practice. So I'm freaking out because this sucks. I'm not doing well on the practice test and da 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 da. My scheduled time was at 4:30. I got there at 4 thinking like, oh yeah, I'm early, blah blah blah. No, I didn't take my test until 6:30 because apparently when they say 4:30, they mean get there at 3, because I don't know, there was a waiting room full of kids. I call myself kid, I'm 22. Just waiting to take their ASVAB. I was like, wow, we all have to wait. So I'm thinking like, oh, they'll go in and then I'll be the next group. But no, I was like the last of the second group to get in. So I was literally the last person to take my exam. I get called into this room after waiting. I wanted to order pizza. I should have eaten or something before I was starving. I get assigned my seat and I start taking the test. And it goes general science, which is pretty basic stuff, word knowledge, arithmetic, paragraph comprehension, math knowledge. And I knew that those 4, forget the general science, the 4, word knowledge, arithmetic, paragraph comprehension, and math knowledge, those are your AFQT. Those are what get you into the branch that you want to get in. Those are the most important. Those are the core that you need to focus on. The rest are really just jobs. Those are just to tell the military what jobs you'd be successful in. I knew once I got those 4 out of the way that it was smooth sailing because I'm in. I finished my test and I'm like, okay, well, that's that. I go to the back to get my test and I'm kind of nervous about my math because I suck and stuff. And then he's like, okay, it's good. It's all good. And I was like, it's not good? And he said, no, it's all good. And it's like, oh, thank God. And so on my AFQT, I got a 71, which you guys And I think this too. In my mind, 71, I'm like, wow, that's barely a C. Like, that's a D, basically. But no, it means I did better than 71% of the people who took the ASVAB. So I'm in the top 29% of people who took ASVAB. So when you look at it that way, it's kind of cool. But when you look at it the way we look at it, I'm average, you know? So it's weird. ASVAB is a percentile score, it's not a percentage. That's what they kept telling me, and I was like, okay, yeah. I was super excited because my recruiter told me to get a 60, and she said that I would barely be getting a 60, basically, that I would essentially barely be passing, and I got a 71. So then, after that, I went into my recruiter's office like on Monday, so a couple days after I took the ASVAB, and she had had the results sent to her or whatever, and I was like, yeah, let's get started, and she gave me this big old stack of paperwork that I had to fill out in order to go to MEPS, and it's a huge stack with ridiculous, ridiculous questions. I'll post another video and tell my experience of MEPS and say what happened there. As for the ASVAB, if you're freaking out because you didn't do well on the practice test, the EST, it must be estimate. If you didn't do well at the recruiter's office, I didn't either. I got a 55, and on the real test I got a 71, and that's my AFQT. Again, the AFQT are the four that you really need to focus on. That's your word knowledge, your arithmetic, your math knowledge, and your paragraph comprehension. Those are super, super vital to you even getting in. You can take the ASVAB commitment free. You don't have to sign anything to, well, you have to sign saying that you're going to be there, or I don't even know if I signed actually anything. You don't have to commit to anything when taking the ASVAB. If you want to just see how well you do and see what you would test into, go for it. I mean, it's not like you're making any promises to any military branch, and the recruiters aren't the vultures that people make them out to be, at least mine's not. They are, mine is anyways. I know that there are some, I'm sure, just like with anything out there, there are people that don't have people's best interests in mind. I feel like my recruiter does. She has my back, and she's looking out for me. It's a big test for us people joining, because it is determining our future. Like, this is the first test starting our life, you know? And it's really, when you think about it that way, it's not that hard of a test when you consider the power of it, I guess. I don't know, that's stupid, but it's not as scary as people think it is. It's much easier than all of the practices I've taken, way easier. I know some of the vocabulary words that were on the practice. One was like, I think it was Russian. I swear it wasn't English. It was like Kvekt. Kvekt. K-T-E-V-C-H. Kvekt. It's a big deal, but don't make it a big deal. Just relax, breathe. It's easy. It honestly is. If it's not easy for you, study. I had to study a lot, like 3 hours a day for 2 weeks, and that's someone who never studied before. There's nothing to be ashamed. I didn't know math. I suck at math, still don't really know it. So, you know, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and numbers are mine. But with studying, I got one of the highest scores on my test was arithmetic, which, go figure, like, I was super excited just to do well in that. If you're nervous about taking it, don't be nervous, just relax, breathe, get a good meal, because I had to wait so long, and I was trying to talk the others into ordering a pizza. Nobody was down, but it's gonna be good. It's good. It's exciting. Be excited. Don't be nervous. This is one thing I'm feeling more, is excitement for everything that's coming, you know? I hope this helps you guys. I hope you do well, you know? And I wish you guys luck on your ASVAB. If you've already taken it, you're going to MEPS. I wish you good luck at MEPS. If you're going basic, good luck at basic. I go to MEPS tomorrow, so wish me luck, and I will get back and post a video about my MEPS experience, and I will try and like keep you up to date, because I feel it's better when you have someone going through it with you, you know? I will see you guys when I post my MEPS.